All right, we got some royalty-free death metal here. And this is Absolute Superman 1 and 2 I'm going to be reviewing. I'm going to go through all four of these until we get to Tuesday, where you can all watch 2025 Superman. You can tell me for yourselves if you like it or you hate it, or at all. Don't let the Jerry Siegel or Christopher Reeve family convince you that it's the messiah of... By the way, the people that hate the Zack Snyder stuff aren't even children, okay? And it's supposed to be aimed at children and dog lovers. And not all Superman fans are dog lovers. It's just the way it is. Let's take a look at issue number 1. Now, this was made by, let's see, we got... I haven't even looked up these people, right? Jason Aaron, Raza Sandoval, and something or other. Ulysses Ariola. Yep, I got to read size 7 font there. That's what I have to do. Let's take a look. Now, I'll say this is the 4th printing. I think that's what got me started. I didn't care about... What is it? I guess the idea is that Darkseid had rewritten... I guess he had the anti-life equation, or whatever he had, and rewrote the DC universe. So you got Absolute Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern. Also Martian Manhunter. So we have like 6 heroes. Aquaman's not considered yet. So Krypton, when I look at Krypton right now, if I'm looking at this Krypton, this Krypton is very different. Now, Krypton in the early, when it was first conceived by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, it was very much that 1930s style Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, City of the Future, with Superman jumping and leaping across the rooftops. And like in the 1980s, we got a grim version of that. I mean, that was a World of Krypton 1970s miniseries. And then if you read the story, What If for a Man Who Has Everything, right? Superman Annual number 11 in 1985. Superman saw his version of Krypton that had, 1970s, 1960s sort of civil rights movements type of things. John Byrne made his version of Krypton I thought it was the best version. But then we get to this one, which has a little bit of everything we've seen in movies and TV shows and past comic books. And this is like the ruling class. This is like you have the ruling class that look very much like the Silver Age of comic books. So the idea is that you have the ruling class of Krypton with the sun, right, with the red sun, being that you are a scientist of high nobility, and those who wear the S are the blue collar workers, the reprobates, the derogatory, whatever passes for a Kryptonian. But the S shield meant you worked in the field. You were a farmer. So Lara and her father, I guess her father-in-law. So you got Jor-El and Lara are farmers, just like what would happen with Martha and John Kent, Clark's adopted parents, right? They'd be farmers on Earth in Kansas. So here they are working just like doing custodian work. If you wore the S, you were the lowest of the low. Now, what happens here is that you got Jor-El leading a bunch of miners. So they're miners, like working in the coal mine miners, down this sort of red crystalline mine. And in previous versions, Krypton was just too old and it would blow up and nobody would believe Jor-El. If you look at Superman the movie, it'd say, okay, Krypton's going to blow up. Jor-El would try to convince the council, and the council would laugh at him. In John Byrne's World of Krypton in 1988, there was a civil war based on the rights of clones, human clones. So the Clone Wars, kind of like the Clone Wars in Star Wars, but here, like John Byrne would write out what the Clone Wars, John Byrne would write out what the Clone Wars were. It was cloning people and using their body parts to sustain the life of the original person. In Absolute Superman, it's mining resources until the planet explodes. That's all it is. And so Jor-El warns there's a danger. Nobody believes him. But it's not about the planet exploding yet. It's about that this mine is dangerous and we can't stay here. Yeah, look at that. Check that out. And that's the effects of kryptonite before it even leaves Krypton. Before it's used on Superman, you see the way it transforms people. Now, this is Earth, Brazil. Now, it's the world of Superman is not where you think it goes. It actually just starts with, It doesn't start on Kansas and Earth, or it doesn't start the Daily Planet in Metropolis. We go to other we go to other places, and it's very much like Man of Steel in that way. I mean, this comic book series has nothing but things to fall back on, the things before it. So it kind of reminds you of this or that. But Man of Steel is the first thing I think of. Except in Man of Steel, there weren't Peacemakers. Peacemaker was popular because James Gunn. I guess you could thank James Gunn to make Peacemaker popular. I mean, Peacemaker was a good series that people liked. But here we go to the Peacemakers here. They're soldiers. And you have people in charge of this. And I like that we're not going to the same places we know we would end up in. We're trying something new. And here we got more of the Peacemakers. There's different Peacemaker soldiers. But he's about to regret it because you see the red square captions. That's, I don't know if it's Kellex, but it's a sort of a talking cape. It's a artificial intelligence, a smart cape. There's Superman. You're not going to fuck around with these people. These people belong to Brazil. Brazil belongs, come to Brazil. You know, Brazil belongs to the Brazilians. You know, you're not going to make them. See, these Brazilians, they're there to work the mines, these diamond mines, for Lazarus Company, Lazarus Corp. No Lex Corp. So we're not dealing with Lex Luthor. I don't know where he is. We're dealing with Ra's al Ghul, which is not a huge spoiler because if you're thinking of Lazarus Pit, you are dealing with Ra's al Ghul. So Ra's al Ghul, that Superman's there to fight the Peacemakers, and he does his job. He's punching. This is different. Now he's got these sort of, it's this suit that it lights up his arms and legs, and his cape talks to him. You know, it's talking to him. So he's got this voice in his head. So he's got someone to talk to. It's almost like Batman and Robin. So he has his own Robin. He has somebody to talk to, and it helps him get through these fights. But the powers are his own, of course, just like in every incarnation of Superman. And while he's making quick work of them, you recognize this person? That's Luisa, or Agent Lois Lane, which I think she is Latina. No doubt about this. Move and I fry your face, Superman. This, when I saw this, I knew we were in new territory. Look at these, and these are helicopter tanks, by the way. Helicopter tanks. Who thinks of helicopter? You need like titanium blades to pick up, the weight of a tank, right? But they have to be like lightweight tanks if you could actually think of them in real life. And I know Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster, they loved sci-fi, so flying tanks, right? So I knew we were in new territory. There is no Daily Planet as I know of. Lois Lane is an agent. So she's an agent with the Peacemakers for Lazarus Corp. There's a lot going on here. Now here we got the Nevada desert, and we're looking at Brainiac. This is Brainiac here. And then over here we got the Kent farm, what's left of it. So the Kents do play an important role. And I liked issue 6, and I'll show you that, what is it, Sunday? Yeah, you're going to be seeing that. Now there's difficulties with the planet. Basically Kal-El's character is that as a kid, this is him at like what, age 12 to 13? Or maybe 13, 14, somewhere between, let's say 13, okay? So he's a very rebellious kid that wants to know more about science and how science works. Where the classes, the school, the curriculum, the teachers, the faculty and staff just want him to just do as you're told. Don't question things. But that's what he's doing. He's questioning things. And that's what makes him a good son. So this is a heartwarming thing where it's like, you know, something bad is going to happen here. Bad is going to happen to the planet. And we're going to get through this together. There's a dog right there. There's a dog. And, Superman versus Lois Lane. So now we're going to go on to issue 2. And let me tell you, this is number 2. One of the few things I hate about Absolute Superman, but it's fair, I hate this in all the comic books, is that there's got to be 40 goddamn variant covers to the one issue. Just make 1 or 2. That's it. Just stop with this. Like, do we have to? Just make a holographic foil cover to issue 1, be done with it. Like, why are we doing the 50 covers? So, like, you're trying to kill, and do they get paid more per cover? I don't know what's going on with that. So let's take a look at issue 2. And here, Agent Lois Lane, or Louisa Lane, if you want to call her that. There's some missed opportunities here, but I like Louisa Lane more. But they're handcuffed together. Meanwhile, the Peacemakers want to capture him. So they have to capture him alive, because Brainiac and Ra's al Ghul are interested in him. So this kind of just shows you the landscape of what the Peacemakers are, what Lazarus Corp is, Brainiac and Ra's al Ghul working together. There's another faction coming up, but this is, look at this, one guy's on the ground there. But this is the landscape. This is what it's all about. These two have a chance to escape. Superman pulls her. There, see, the cape acts in very strange ways, right? And there's a helicopter tank right behind her. Now, Lois's mission is clear, to take him in. Some of the Peacemakers want him dead. But amidst all this, she can't deny that Superman is there to help people. He's there to save people, which is very bright, colorful, and hopeful, even though he wears a dark Superman suit. This is what he's doing. He's saving people's lives. So I really enjoyed this scene. After some quality time together spent, they break free the bonds. They were handcuffed together. Now they're not. She's all by herself, with the helicopter tanks. And she has to report her mission. She ended her days, her shift. So now she has to report to Brainiac. Brainiac is the AI, just like Grok, just like whatever Google's AI, right? To make a report, but she decides to type the report herself. Here we see some more of Krypton, Ben with his dog, Kal-El and his dog, Jor-El and Lara. They have a mission. Their mission is to get everybody off the planet Krypton as much as possible. So do they succeed? I don't know, because I'm still reading, okay? I'm still up to issue 9. I don't know exactly what happened with Krypton's fallout. But here we get Venezuela, okay? And let me see what it says. Lazarus. So Lazarus is taking over everything. Lazarus Corp, headed by Rage, has killed the Kent farm, killed a lot of things. And here you see a little bit of Lois Lane putting a reporter, or at least her writer skills, to the test, okay? And here we end it with the Peacemakers. So far, so good. I'm thrown into this world of what the fuck is going on. You got Peacemakers, you got, with the Lazarus Corp, no Lex Luthor, no Jimmy Olsen, well, we'll get to Jimmy Olsen in a future issue. No Perry White, right? Maybe the Daily Planet's just a business where it's all YouTubers talking through Zoom. I don't know. There's no big bustling offices anymore. Maybe it's not like that. But the Kents do exist, and we'll find out later on in what capacity do they exist. You got Brainiac. Why is Brainiac there? What's Brainiac about? You got Superman. You got Superman coming to Earth as an adult, which is the thing that you have to remember. Superman does not come to Earth as a baby. He comes to Earth as, I would say, maybe an 18-year-old. Okay, maybe 18, 19-year-old. Because it takes him a long time to get from Krypton to Earth. And so if he's been there a couple of years, he's in his early 20s, and maybe Lois is a couple of years older than him. She seems older than him. Morena Baccarin, when she had short hair in the late 2000s, early 2010s, like, that's kind of an idea what Lois Lane would be like. So you kind of get an idea of what is this character about. So I'm going to rate these 2 issues for you. I think I'm giving it a 5. I think I like what's happening so far. It's a great start. These 2 issues are a great start to what we got. Okay? If you're disappointed by what's happening, if you're disappointed by the hype, or you're not a James Gunn fan, I mean, I guess if it wasn't for James Gunn, you wouldn't have the Peacemakers as popular as they are. So I'm not saying James Gunn's a terrible person in every aspect. I'm saying, because look, Knives Out by Rian Johnson was pretty good, right? But as far as this goes, I mean, it works pretty well. I mean, you got all kinds of things going on. You got a noir. You have a world set up. You have a whole world set up. With Batman, I didn't feel good about Absolute Batman. Wonder Woman looks good, but it didn't. I think it didn't. I would say Wonder Woman's just below this one. I think there was a little bit of overhype, but Wonder Woman's still good to read. I have not read Absolute Green Lantern yet. Absolute Flash is fine. Wasn't as excited for it. Martian Manhunter's okay. But that's it. So tomorrow will be 3 and 4. I'm doing this review early because it's the butt-fucking 4th of July, and I don't want the noise to overshadow my talking. As it is, I got the music going on here.